The first part of 3-5 is finding the square root of a number. So as an example, I'm going to ask you guys to find the square root of 169. What this is asking is, what number times itself will give you 169. So that's the question you got to ask yourself every time you're doing a square root. So you got to ask yourself, well, what number times itself will give you 169? If you think of it this way, 12 times 12 is equal to 144. So that means the square root of 144 is 12. Well, 169 is a little bit bigger than 144, so let's try go one more up. 13 times 13 is equal to 169. So the square root of 169 is equal to 13. And that's how you find a square root. Again, it's asking what number times itself will give you whatever the number is inside what they call the radical. Alright? The second part to 3-5 is finding the cube root of a number. So let's take number 13 on 3-5 as an example. Number 13 says 8 over 27. Find the cube root of 8 over 27. So what they're asking you to do is find the cube root of 8 over 27, which is the same thing as finding the cube root of 8 over the cube root, or divided by the cube root of 27. Now the cube root is asking what number times itself 3 times will give you 8, and what number times itself 3 times will give you 27. So if you think about this, 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So that means, that implies that the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 27, which implies that the cube root of 27 is equal to 3. So therefore, the cube root of 8 divided by the cube root of 27 is the same thing as the 2 over 3. And that is your answer for the cube root of 8 over 27. The third part in 3-5 is simplifying radicals and square roots. You have to understand that square roots are powers, right? And just like order of operations, it goes parentheses, and then the powers, which are the exponents. So you think of square roots as being the inverse of exponents, so that actually comes as the second step in order of operations. So I'm going to do 2 problems from your homeworks, number 17 and 19, just to show you guys an example. On number 17, it asks you guys to do this the square root of 100 minus 19. If you notice that 100 minus 19 is inside what they call the radical, the square root. So that means you guys got to do the square root of whatever 100 minus 19 is. Well, 100 minus 19 is 81. So you did was inside the radical first. Then the second thing is, now you got to find the square root. And if you did practice your square roots, 81 is the same thing as 9 times 9. So that's the square root of 9 times 9, which is just 9. So the square root of 81 is 9. So that means the square root of 100 minus 19 is 9. If you take a look at number 19 says the square root of 100 minus the square root of 25. So if you do this correctly, you got to do there's no parentheses, so you got to do the powers first. Square root of 100, remember 10 times 10 is 100, so the square root of 100 is 10. Minus the square root of 25 would be 5 times 5 is 25, so the square root of 25 is 5. Then you just do 10 minus 5, which gives you 5 as an answer. And that's how you simplify radicals and square roots. Remember, follow the order of operations. Parentheses first, exponents, multiply and divide from left to right, add and subtract. Oops. Add and subtract. That should be an S from left to right. Thanks.